Hi, welcome. My name is Marjorie, and today we're talking about my fall and winter knitting and sewing plans. Let's get started. So, let's start with sewing. First sewing project I'm going to make, and I sort of already started. I printed out the pattern, is the pearl blouse by Studio Amity. Like I said in the previous vlog, if you want to know more about that sewing project, you can go there because I talk about it a little bit more, and I will also actually make it in the next vlog. I want to make my own blouse inspired by this one, and I have the perfect fabric for it. It's a bed cover, and it's super precious. I think it will be perfect for the blouse, and I think I will also try my hand at hand stitching because the actual blouse that I'm inspired by, it's quilted, but the quilt batting that I have is too thick, and also I don't want to make a quilted blouse. I want it to be a little bit more flowy, so I'm gonna just try to hand stitch some parts of it because I will have a lining because this fabric is way too thin, so it's gonna be lined so I can actually double stitch the lining with the outside fabric and kind of give it a quilted feel, but without the heaviness and the warmth of a quilt. So this summer I bought the very popular Celine blouse by Silver Saga Pattern, but I never got around to make it, and I want to. So I was thinking about how I could make it a little bit more like fall-ish, and I remembered that I thrifted this fabric a while back, and I think that would make a really cute blouse that have maybe a bit more of a fall feel to it. That I think will be my next sewing project after I'm done with the first blouse. This morning, before I started filming this, I was looking up fabrics on Core Fabrics, which is a Montreal-based fabric store, and I stumbled upon this. It's a jacquard fabric, and it caught my eye, and I thought that I could make the Rue quilted jacket by Spaghetti Western Patterns. But the thing is that this jacquard fabric is $44 a meter, so it's very expensive. And I thought about making all of the binding and the collar kind of a um, jean fabric. I think it would be really, really, really pretty. But I don't know if I can justify the $200 of fabrics that would go for that project, and that's not including the lining and buying the actual pattern. So I'm kind of hesitant right now. I think it would make a really pretty jacket for fall, but I mean, fall is so short here. I think it'll be too cold for November, and I'm probably not gonna get around to making it in October, but it would be super cute for spring. So I don't know. I'm gonna give myself a week or two to think about it and to see if I don't get tired of the fabric. But so far, it's kind of my obsession. I don't have any other big projects except some things that I want to make for loved ones for Christmas, but I'm not going to talk about it here because I need to think about it a little bit more. And I was thinking about making a whole video out of the things that I want to make. So we'll put that aside. I was maybe thinking about doing my first pair of lane pants, but I don't know which fabric I would use yet. And I think it would be maybe a little bit too thin for winter. So that might go into my more like spring, summer projects. So stay tuned for that, maybe. Now let's talk about knitting. I'm quite excited because I started knitting a little bit less than a year ago in December of last year. So I didn't get to knit sweaters because in the winter last year I really wasn't there yet, I guess. I wanted to start with smaller things. I did a sweater vest also in the spring, but I've never actually made a wool sweater. It's one of the first thing I want to cast on, and I think it's quite funny that I'm wearing this sweater that I definitely did not make. It kind of resembled the first project that I want to make, which is the famous Olga sweater by Petite Knit. And you can see behind me, I already bought the yarn for it. So it's going to be matcha green and this ballerina pink. I think that's the name of the colors, if I'm not mistaken. It's a collaboration between Sandnes Garn and Petite Knit. So I think it's gonna make a super pretty Olga sweater. I kind of regret maybe a little bit the colors that I went for. I've seen so many pretty Olga sweaters with blues and reds and browns and the collar a different color than the stripes. But yeah, I already bought the yarn and I think it's going to be cute. So I try not to think about all of the other options. Last year in the spring, I started knitting another novice slipover, also by Petite Knit. Her patterns are very beginner friendly, and those are the ones that I gravitate towards. So I started knitting a brown novice slipover, and I never finished it. I only have the back yoke done. And I thought about frogging it and doing it again, but now that I look at it, it's not bad. I don't need to frog it. It's knitted with Peer Gynt, the same yarn that I'm gonna knit my Olga sweater with, and also with a brown mohair. So I want to finish that. I think it'll be great for winter. I love slipovers. I could wear slipovers all winter. So I'm gonna get to that soon. And now that I'm a bit better at knitting, or at least a bit faster, I think it would be an easy project to finish. Last year, I knitted a butter yellow bonnet, and I want to make another one, but with another pattern. I don't know exactly which one yet. I saw a couple ones on Etsy, and I also saw the collaboration between Dems and Matter, which is a clothing brand, and Wool and the Gang. They did a collab for a sweater and for a bonnet. It's kind of a striped bonnet with a different colors for the ribbing, and it's really cute. Last year, I also started knitting a triangle scarf that I never got around to finish, and I want to do it again this year. I bought yarn for it. It's cheap acrylic yarn. I feel like it's fine for these kinds of garment, and it's the Red Heart Super Saver brushed yarn. It's in this kind of brown mink color, and I think it would make a really pretty triangle scarf. That's the color I used for the bonnet last year. And I bought a brick red, and I think that with these two colors, I want to make a striped scarf and a matching beanie. I saw a free pattern on Hobby, so maybe I'll use these ones. I'm not sure about the ribbing that they use, but maybe it could be cute. I don't know. Or maybe I'll just use the pattern and do a simple knit to purl to based on the pattern. I'll have to think about it. I think with a yellow and red, it would be kind of cute. I have another sweater plan, but I did not buy any yarn yet because I don't know the color of yarn I want to make it. It's called the Châtaignier, and it's from a French-Canadian YouTuber and artist called Rebecca Colère. It's a sweater inspired by J. Crew's sweater from the 90s, and it looks like the perfect winter sweater. It's also knitted flat, and then you sew the parts together, which I've never done before. I've always knit everything basically in the round. I think it's very interesting. And I don't know, I guess I want to try it and see if I like it. Color-wise, I have no idea what I want to go for. I thought about going for like a deep brown, but I feel like it's very popular this season, but I'm already making a slipover in brown and then maybe also doing a scarf in brown. So I don't know. I was looking the new Copenhagen yarn from Hobby. I feel like it's maybe a dupe for the Peer Gynt, which is the yarn that is recommended for that pattern. And I saw kind of this pretty old, old pink kind of mauve color. I think that would be quite pretty for winter, but maybe I could also go for like a deep burnt orange or a bright red or a green, but I do have a lot of green already. So yeah, I'm kind of confused about the direction I want to go with the color for that sweater. So I think that that'll be a project for like early 2026. So I still have time to think about the color I want to make it in. So I think that's it for my plans. I think that's a lot, but also not that much compared to some people. But I mean, that's perfectly okay. I want to leave myself some space for more like spontaneous projects. I know I want to maybe try knitting a pair of socks. And like I said, I have a couple of other things that I want to sew for loved ones for Christmas. I'm sure I'll get around to show a couple of those projects on here on YouTube. So if you're not following already, maybe you could subscribe. So I think that's it. And also let me know what I should do about that jacquard fabric. Is it worth it? I don't know. Honestly, I'm probably going to end up buying it.
Editing Marjorie here. I did not buy it. At least not yet. It's been a couple of days since I filmed this, almost a week. And I still don't know, I'm still conflicted, which means I'm probably not gonna buy it, because if it's not a hell yes, it's not a yes. I thought I needed to come on here and say that, but it would be an awesome project. Maybe in the spring, if the fabric's still available.
So I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what are your knitting and sewing or crocheting or weaving or collaging plans for fall and winter. I'm always super interested in learning more about other people's projects, and I find it always very inspiring. So I'll leave you to it. I'll see you in the next one, and as always, thank you for watching.